Hey you guys, what's poppin'? Justin here, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm doing a story time for you guys. Now I'm doing a story time because I said a story on TikTok and then I guess it went to Twitter and it like blew up and it was a big thing, and I was really joking. That story did not happen to me. It was a joke. I just did it for TikTok, and now I'm just known as the boy who shit himself. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, check out my TikTok, or you probably have seen it on Twitter already. So I'm just like, you know what? I owe you guys a story time. Like, I haven't done a story time in so long. I haven't even posted a video in so long. So I owe you guys a genuine story time. Since the story that I did on TikTok was kind of like a date, I'm gonna do something that's kind of like along the lines. I honestly don't like talking about guys or guys that I've spoken to. It's really annoying, but like I said, since the story time on TikTok was about a date, I'm gonna do a real one about my date. If you guys are seeing that the lighting is starting to change and stuff like that, the sun is going down and I'm using sunlight, so this might go from like sunlight to ring light real quick. But so don't mind the lighting change, but let's get into this story. This story is not even too crazy. It's not even like nothing that's like, oh my god, like the TikTok story. But you know, you guys like to hear about, you know, my relationships or guys that I talk to, or my rationalism, or the way I think when it comes to relationships. So I was just like, let me just say this story because it's a funny one. Because this boy is okay, let me just start the story. Okay, so boom. So basically, there's this boy that kind of like lives by my house. He lives down the street from me, and you know, I know him forever, like literally since before I started YouTube. Like we never really spoke like that, but I knew of him because he was gay and then I was gay, so we just knew each other. But I know him before I started YouTube. So I remember when I first started YouTube, and you guys know, like when I first started YouTube, I didn't have my own channel. I started off on Aaliyah's channel, and I used to do vlogs with her, whatever the case may be. He was one of the first people that gave me the line that I knew I was gonna get once I got popping, because I know my personality is popping, and I knew that once I got on YouTube, people would love me already just for me. But I already like kind of prepared myself for like the comments of like, oh, you just all that, you think you all that because you her friend and she put you on and blah blah blah. So you know, I already mentally prepared myself for that. But he was one of the first people that actually did that to me when I blew up. And I remember it was so random. Like, it was so fucking random. Like, this was Facebook days. Like, he had said something on Facebook, and then me and him had a back and forth on Facebook. I felt really bad because I read him like to Phil. Like, I was like, yeah, because you sleep on your grandmother's couch, bitch. And you, like, because he's like a OnlyFans, like, porn star. And he was trying to come at me like, oh, I don't need people to be, to get popping. I don't need to be on nobody's channels to get popping. I'm like, but you sit down in your bathroom with your iPhone 4 and jerk off and upload it to Pornhub, but you coming at me and you telling me, like, you don't need help jerking off. Like, I could do that too. Like, are you crazy? But I just never understood why he always was jealous. Like, it's just jealous. Like, he was just jealous. Like, it wouldn't even be nothing, and he would always like put me in competition with him. Like, it was just weird. Like, I didn't understand it. And that was what that Facebook conversation was like, because I guess he was getting like popping, you know, jerking off, and then, you know, I was doing my story times and stuff like that in my blogs. So I don't know why he like just felt like, I don't know what that was about. I really don't know what that was about. But anyway, so boom, you know, we had that, and I read him like, bitch, I said all that, bitch, ain't nobody need help jerking off. What are you talking about? And you live on your grandmother's couch. Like, are you crazy? Like, you could never come for me. Like, blah, 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 blah. So we had that little back and forth, and then we never spoke after that. And then, like, I think as the years went on, we didn't speak for like a while, and he used to always try to hit me up and write me. And you know, like, sometimes I would write him back, sometimes I wouldn't. Like, he would like DM me and I would just ignore it, and then like maybe he'll hit me up a couple months later and I'll just like write back a simple hey and stuff like that. Like, we slowly like were like getting back, because it was a long time ago and we really didn't have no beef and it was nothing serious. So one night because like I said, he lived on the block from me. Oh, so pause. So we gonna pause that beat. So that's that story, right? So boom, let me tell y'all. So then years go by, whatever the case may be. I'm dating around, and I run into this DL guy who he looks so good, like so good. I'm not even gonna gas him because he's probably gonna watch this, but the DL guy looks so good. He's from Uptown. You know, a little tall basketball player, 6'5", you know what I'm saying? Like, cute body, like, you know, he was cute. So he used to be on my body a lot. And I forgot how we started talking. I think he wrote me and he was like, hey, let's just go out or whatever. I need to stop going out with random dudes. Like, this is ridiculous. But anyway, so he was like, let's go out or whatever. Boom, meet me at the club. So at the time, this club called ER was popping, and I met him there, and he was mad cute. And I remember I was sitting at the bar, like this guy, DL guys get mad really fast. Like they get controlling really fast. I don't understand why. I really don't, because I would think as a DL guy, you don't want people to like know and stuff like that. But he was very controlling as like, you're mine, but he's not the only one that I've dealt with like that. But anyway, so the story is, I'm at the bar, I get there first, he gets there before me, he gets there after me, boom. He gets there after me, and he's like, oh, what you want to drink? So I told him what I wanted to drink. So as he's ordering the drink, somebody taps my shoulder and it's like, oh my god, I love your videos, da-da-da. A lot of DL guys don't know I do YouTube, so they don't know that like people come up to me and tell me that they love my videos, and you know I have conversations with my supporters and stuff like that. So they just think that guys are just trying to talk to me, or girls, or just whatever. So I'm standing there waiting for the drink, but I'm talking to the person as well. He's like, oh my god, I love your videos, da -da -da. And I'm like, thank you, da -da 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 -da. So the guy turns around and he gives me my drink, and he's like, oh, that's who you talking to? And it didn't click in my head, and I'm like, I was just like, yeah, like, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what I said, but I was just so clueless and lost. I was just like, yeah, whatever. And he was like, oh, here's your drink, and you can stay talking to that nigga. So I'm like, what? So then that's when it clicked to me. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't like telling guys that I do YouTube though, so I didn't want to say like, oh, he knows me from YouTube, da da da. So I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, he just said hi to me. Like, what are you even talking about? So he's like, oh, you could stay and sit and talk to that nigga. So the guy who told me to meet him at the club, his friend had a table. He had a section or whatever, and they had bottles or whatever. And I was like, fine. So I took my drink and I was sitting in the corner. I was really sad though. I was really tight. I don't know why I was so tight. Usually now I don't let guys get me that mad, but I was really mad. I was sitting in the corner, and like, you know, people that I know through passing, like, you know, club friends or whatever, were coming up to me like, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing, like, like this guy, I'm just tight, da da da. So towards the end of the night, he came to me. He was like, oh, you still mad at me? I'm like, you the one who's still mad at me? And he's like, no, and da da da. So we became cool, and that was that on that. So that was my first time meeting the DL guy, right? Boom. We gonna call the porn star boy. We gonna call him. I'm not even gonna go there, because I was gonna go there, but I'm not gonna go there. We gonna call him So, right? Like So from Dragon Ball Z, whatever. So I'm gonna connect the two stories. Y'all know my story times be like 4 stories in one, but I'm gonna connect them all together, I promise you. So, boom. So then after that, maybe like a month after, you know, that situation, the DL guy was like, come over to my house, whatever the case may be, boom, boom, let's chill. That was just that on that or whatever, right? So we was really liking each other a lot. Like, we would talk on the phone, we would text, like, it was cute or whatever. So fast forward, so Sales hits me up, and you know, I told you guys that, like, you know, like, we never, ever since that situation, we never really spoke like that, but like, it was so long ago that slowly but surely, like, we would see each other and be like, hey and bye, or like, he used to try to follow me on Instagram and be in my DM, not like that, but just like hitting me up, and I used to just pay him no mind, but it was no beef though, and it was just like, oh, we just had a little like da-da-da, but it's no beef, whatever. So then he writes me, he's like, hey, you want to go out tonight? Because he lives on the block from me. And I was like, you know what, I kind of do want to go out tonight. So I decided to write him back, and I was like, yeah, we could go out. Like, he was like, okay, cool. So we go out, boom, right? At this point, Cell is a full-blown porn star, like full-blown porn star. Like, I'm talking about scenes, like, you could look him up on Pornhub, like shit like that, like signs with a company, like shit like that, like a full-blown porn star. So he upgraded from jerking off on camera to jerking off with someone else on camera. And we go out to the club. So it's me and him, but we linked these other two people that we knew that's gonna remain nameless. But one of the promoters, I don't know if he's known to like, I mean, I'm friends with him, so I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not in the scene like that, so I don't know what his reputation is as far as like dating guys and stuff like that. So I walk in with me, so the promoter, and somebody else. And we walk into the club and the DL guy is standing there, right? So I'm like, oh, what's up? So I go and I try to give him a hug. He's like, oh, these are the people you chilling with? No, he said, these are your friends? And I said, what? I said, no, these are not my friends. Like, I just know them from the club. Like, and he's like, oh, these are your friends? Like, one who's a fucking porn star and one who, be, paying for escorts and stuff like that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm like, I don't even know nothing about that, but those are not my friends. I just know them, like, it's high and by. He like, so he's getting mad, like, but he always had a short fuse. Like I said before, DL guys have a short fuse for some weird reason. I don't understand why they be so mad. Like, they want to argue with you. Like, I don't get that. So he was like, oh, so he started giving all of that. So I'm like, you know what? Like, I guess, like, I'll talk to you later. Like, I don't know what's your problem, but I guess. So, boom. So, I'm at the bar, and this guy comes up to me. He's like, oh, baby, you look good. Blah, 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 you know, regular shit. And he's like, oh, can I buy you a drink? So, I'm like, sure. He's like, what do you drink? I'm like, you know, whatever, da-da-da. The DL guy comes over to me and the guy who's trying to buy me a drink and goes, don't buy him a drink. He already got enough guys to do that for him. So I turned around because all I heard was the voice. I'm like, who the fuck is this? But it was him. So I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I started getting tight because I'm like, now you bothering me. Like, what are you talking about? Like, the guy who was trying to buy me a drink and the DL guy, they said something to each other. And he was like, yeah, bro, da-da-da-da-da, something, something, something. I don't know what the fuck they said, but the DL guy ended up walking away. And the guy who was trying to buy me a drink, he was like, oh, don't worry about that, like, da-da-da. And I'm like, I'm so sorry about that. Like, I don't know what's his problem, like, da-da-da. So, boom, that was that on that. So when that happened, I go to Cell now because, you know, even though me and Cell aren't like friends because we had a little situation in the past and then it was like we was just high and by to each other, I still thought that, you know, I don't know why. I knew he wasn't my friend though. I don't know why I thought he was my friend though. Like, I don't know. So like, but you know, like when you in a club with your girls and a nigga giving something and you like, bitch, let me tell you, like, blah, 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 blah. It was very that. Like, it wasn't that I thought he was my friend, but it was just giving like, girl, like, let me tell you why this guy, like, da 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 da. Right? Y'all get what I'm saying, right? So boom. So I go to Stella and I'm like, girl, let me tell you, blah, 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 blah. So he's like, so I told him like everything that's happening. He's like, who, which one? And I'm like, him. And he's like, oh, him? Like, oh, okay. Like, mind you, my pieces always be fab. Okay, my bitch. Okay, everybody who try to, no, let me not say everybody who try to talk to me because that's a lie. Because I be having the busted ones. The guys that I talk to, that I take serious, they look good. Okay, they kind of like, they ugly cute though. Like, they ugly cute. Like, Young Thug, Lil Uzi. But this guy actually was really cute. But anyway. That's not the point. So maybe like 20 minutes or 30 minutes after we getting ready to leave, we were supposed to go back to the promoter house. So boom. So the guy comes up to me. No. So Sal comes up to me. He's like, oh, since he was giving you all of that, I'm gonna go throw shade to him. Now at this point, I'm a little tipsy. So like, you know, when people tell you something endearing when you're tipsy, you kind of like with it. You're like, yeah, girl, like da da da. So he came to me like, oh, I'm gonna tell him something shady. Like, I'm gonna go say something shady to him. Like, and I'm like, girl, you crazy? Like, all right. So, but we was getting ready to leave. Like, literally, like, I was getting ready to go. Like, we was literally getting ready to go. He was like, oh, I'm gonna go say bye. I'm gonna go say something shady to him before we leave. So I'm like, all right, girl. So I'm like, okay. So he goes up to him and he's sitting there talking to him, like, laughing with him, basically flirting. And I'm like, so at first when he went over there, I'm like, oh, let me wait to see what he's gonna do or what he's gonna say. So I'm sitting there and 30 seconds turn to a minute and a minute turned into 2 and then 2 turned into 3 and then they start laughing and then 3 minutes turned into 5 and I'm like, hold the fuck up. Like, then it started clicking now. Like, I'm like, what? Hold on. You trying to talk to him? Like, are you crazy? So it clicked. Like, it took so long to click, but it clicked. And I go over to him and I'm like, let's go. Like, I literally, like, very ugly, just like that. Like, let's go. So I grab him by his arm and I'm like, we're leaving. But I'm like, why you trying to talk to him? And he was like, what are you talking about? I told you I was gonna go say something to him. So what are you even talking about? I said, yeah, you said you was gonna go be shady to him, but you was literally just in there flirting with him. Like, I'm not stupid. Bitch, he took that and flipped it. Like, oh, you mad because you think I was trying to steal your man? I'm like, wait. I'm like, what are you, I said, what? What are you talking about? First of all, any guy who's into me is not gonna be into you, okay? We are in two different brackets, okay? You and me, we don't talk to the same guys. And I can tell, trust me. Actually, I know I can tell by things that I'm not gonna even mention, but whatever. So, you know, I'm just like, what are you talking about? But he's flipping the script on me because he's always been jealous of me, like, even since back when I first started on YouTube. And it's like he took this as an opportunity to be like, oh, we here now, we equal. I try to talk to your man and you mad about it. First of all, that's not my man. Number one, that's not my man. Number two, I'm telling you that I'm peeping you flirting with somebody that I just told you a situation about. You know that that's like my piece, but you going over and you know he's giving me like fever, and you going over there and trying to talk to him. Mind you, I still never told him what he had said about him to me. So, cause it didn't matter to me. So I was just like, what? Like, what are you even talking about? He just tried to totally flip the script, and the promoter that I was with was saying it too. Like, oh, why? Now we in a cab and we talking about it. So now we in a cab on our way to the promoter's house and we talking about it, and he like, oh, well, you knew that I was going to say bye to him. Now you mad because he was talking to me, blah blah. I said, you said you was gonna go be shady to him, and honestly it didn't click to me that you would even sit there and talk to him. But once it did click, I definitely put an end to it, because why are you trying to talk to somebody that you know I talk to and that I'm just telling you about, that's giving me, like, you know, da-da-da in the club? Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, because I think in his mind, in his irrational mind, but the way he rationalized it was like, oh, well, I told you that I was gonna go talk to him, and now that I'm talking to him, you mad. Now you mad, and you think that I'ma steal your man, and blah 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 blah. Which I can't understand that, because that's not what it was. But I mean, like, I guess, you know, if I was a stupid bitch, I could understand that. But it's just like, no. You told me you was gonna go be shady to him, and then you went and go flirted with him. And then I think he just expected me to not say, he either expected me to not sit there and look at them, or he expected me to not say nothing. I think he just told me so that way, like, if I like looked over and I seen him talking to him, I would have already knew what it was. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, like, it's nothing, da da da. But no. Let's go. What you doing? Like, let's go. But since I gave it like that, like, what you doing? Let's go. He was easily able to flip it into like, you mad? I stole your man. Like, and he was like joking with it. So I'm like, you tried it, ho. That shit ain't work. You made him bait. I fucked him first. I fucking check. You got a purse. He paid my bills. Yo ass jerking off on camera. And we never spoke again after that. But then it was like, me and him had a weird relationship where whenever we see each other in the club, it'll just be like, hey and bye. Because honestly, none of those situations was that serious, at least to me. Like, it wasn't like, I don't know, like, and I also know he's not like that. Like, he's real life pussy, so it's just like, it's like, it's not, I don't know, I never was like super duper mad at him. So I get a call from one of my other friends that I'm not gonna name, and he like, oh, yo, let me ask you something. You fucked with da da da? And I think he either said his like street name, because the name that he said I didn't know, and I'm like, no, what are you talking about? And he like, you sure the 6'5" nigga from da 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 da? And it still wasn't clicking in my head because that was the last time I ever spoke to that boy, and that was like months, maybe a year like ago. No, it was like kind of months. It was months ago. So when I got a call from this random boy, he's not a random boy. We have each other on Instagram. We know each other, whatever. So when I got that call, oh my God, it's so dark. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna switch the lighting. Better? Better? No? Okay. Yeah, I don't like this orange lighting either, but whatever. Okay, it's better than the dark. So I'm like, but why though? Like, why are you calling me about a boy? And he's like, oh, because he was like, oh, because that was my I don't know, some messy shit. Basically, he was telling me that that was his like serious piece, and that Cell was playing with him or whatever, and the boy found out, and then he had asked Cell, like, are you talking to him? And Cell said, I don't know, as Justin. So that's what the boy told me, because I'm like, why are you calling me, asking me about a boy? Like, what? And he was like, oh, because I spoke to Cell, and Cell told me to ask you about him. That's when it clicked. I'm like, oh. I'm like, yeah, I did talk to him, but it was nothing serious. Like, we just talked, and he was a little crazy, and then me and the boy that I'm cool with, we was like kikiing on the phone for a while. But I'm just like, why you, like, this is why I can't have gay friends. Like, it's just like, why you telling people business? Like, mine, like, get off my dick. But what's so crazy though, and it's so crazy how God works, not to say nothing about nobody, and you know, not to put people business out there and stuff like that, and you guys know I don't name drop in my videos at all. I talk very subliminally in my story times, because I don't want nobody's, you know, reputation or feelings to get hurt, or like when they're out in the street, people's like, oh, that's who he was talking about. But it's so crazy how God works, because now they're sick, and it's just like, wow. Like, wow. Like, look at how shit just works. Like, you know what I'm saying? And by sick, I mean, I'm gonna let y'all deduce that yourselves, but you know, it is what it is. And it's just so crazy to me, and I just did this story because, you know, I really did the story because I seen that again, once again, me thinking that me and him is okay. I just seen him recently, like at the club, and we just said hi, and I was like, oh my God, you look so good and stuff like that. He went on Twitter and was just talking shit about me again. So I'm just like, okay. Like, it reminded me of this story, like, and I was just like, let me say this for you too, because this story honestly is another story that taught me that, like, one, keep your business to yourself, especially with people who aren't your friends and people who you think is your friends because of the club and stuff like that. And two, be careful who you messing with, because you never know who you messing with. Like, you know, and it was just so crazy to me. But that's my story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys want to hear more stories about guys that I talk to. I hate doing this though. I didn't want to do this, but I seen that he was talking shit about me, and I was just like, oh yeah, I remember this story. Let me tell this story. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.